Hello guys. I'm actually gonna show you that I'm gonna get the platinum trophy now in this Tour de France game. Even this game has been a lot more fun to play. I also think the trophies is kinda hard to get, especially the last one, because you have to do anything, and as you see here I only need that one to get the platinum trophy, and that says I have to get 10 stars in the Tour de France mode. From now I've reached the final challenge, or should I say objective. I can show you what the objective is. You see I've done all the objectives right here, and there's about 22 teams, so you have 10 each objective, and as you see right here, there's some hard ones. Win the tour with Alberto Contador and place a Roman Kreuziger in the top 5 on the all standings. That is hard, because you have to focus on both of the riders and also use Alberto Contador as a rider who protect Kreuziger on some of the mountains. This one was actually the hardest one, because Andy's leg is not that good in the mountains, so you have to attack on every mountain stage. A good thing here is to put some extra mountain stage on it, and make sure he's a lot of time behind the top 10, because then he can go on a breakaway as he wants to. This one, it was actually the most easiest one. Nothing to say about that. This one, only to win 3 stages with Nibali. You have to do it on some 3 or 4 mountain stages, because you have to make sure you have one in spare if you miss the first one. But that's also easy. And also wear the yellow jersey. It's easy if you win it, so nothing to do there. This one, win the mountain stages standings with Samuel Sanchez, was actually the hardest one I could get, because he's not that good climber as he used to be. He's like an average climber, so he has to go on a breakaway. But all this was not easy, but it was not hard, because you have to get TJ Van Garderen in the top 3. If you're just in the top 4 before the time trial, you can actually get in the top 3 quite easy. This one was actually quite fun to play, because you have to use Mollema in the top 3. It's very hard, but still, if you play your card right, you can actually go in top 3 quite easy. This one was also fun to play. As you see, I've renamed 2 of the riders. One of the riders called Bjergrytter, and one is called Sprinter. It's because both the riders was calling Fileux, and I could not see the difference on R Fileux and E Fileux, or what it's calling. So the one I know I have to use in the mountains, I just call him Bjergrytter. That means mountain rider in Danish. But then I have to get in the top 5 point standings with the Sprinter, and amongst 5 mountain standings with Bjergrytter. The sprint was not that easy, because you have to go on a breakaway, or you have to make sure you are at least getting win the intermediate sprint after the breakaways. This one, win points standings and 2 stages with Peter Sagan. That's quite easy. You just pick stage 2 and stage 5, yeah, even stage 7 I think. But stage couple section he can win, and the second stage he can win. So there you go, and then he can go on attack on some of the mountain stages, as you see in real life. This one was not that hard, but it was not easy. It's average. Europecard, that was probably the hardest to do, not because of the riders, but because you have to get Pierre Rolland and Veuclair in top 10, and usually Veuclair is losing a lot of time on the time trial, so that means of losing time. I have to gain time before the time trial, at least 1 or 2 minutes, or it depends on who is 11th place. But Overall, there was an easy one. But look at the objectives called win all the mountain sprints on a mountain stage. There's quite few, but the one in the Alps with two 8 seas climbs and one climb. The one Reverend Michael just won yesterday. Francis Ducheux was easy and still amazing fun to play, because the guy called A. Jensen was always going a breakaway every time I play against that team, so I tried to do the same, and I got a breakaway in 3 or 4 races and got 120 points in the mountain climbing, so I actually won all the mountains that was important to win. And Boigny, that was also easy, and winning 2 stages with the Demare, that was not hard, but it was not easy also, because again, if I won the 2 stages with Demare, I also lost points with Boigny, so I had to figure out what the best way to do it without Boigny lost too much points in the first place, and then win more than 150,000 euros during one tour. That should be possible and easy if you have actually got the white jersey, or if you and you wear the white jersey a lot of time, because then you get a lot of bonus. Same with mountain climbing standings. Just put Jameson in the second stage, put him out on attack, and make sure you have the polka dot jersey from there. Get maybe 10 or 12 points, then you're sure you have the mountain stage, and big a difference before the first mountain climbs. Garmin, I don't know what I should say. They have a very good mountain team but still Daniel Martin was, what should I say, overrated, I think, because actually the 2 mountain stages I actually won with him, and tied out Contador on one of the stages, but again I don't know what happened, but I did not win the tour. I got a second place, but I also only do it on the quick tour. The same with winner David Talansky. You have to do it on a hill stage, I think stage 8 or something. That's good for that. Else there's nothing to do about this. You'll finish amongst the first 5 teams on the stage. I actually use second stage for that, because again they have a lot of mountain riders, or not actually mountain riders, but good riders on the mountains with over 75 in average, so they can actually go on that last climbs on the second stage. Gian Shimano, the only hard thing was actually to get make sure Degenkolb and Kiel have to get points each time, because you sprint with one rider and then you the computer sprint with another rider, and I actually found out that if I use Degenkolb, Kiel was sprinting, that means Degenkolb was acting like a lead-out man if you use him. So you just take the intermediate sprint with him, and then Kiel take the final sprints, which gave 45 points. And again, Degenkolb is also good on a couple section. That means in the 5th stage, you actually use Degenkolb to get a big advantage on the sprint points. I'm cycling. This one is I'm about to show in a minute. KATUSA. This one was actually not easy, but it was fun to play, because Rodriguez, he is a good climber, you all know, but his energy is not that good on each stage. So if you don't protect him good enough on some stages, you could actually lose winning the tour with him. Else there's nothing to say about this. Yes, you have to win the point standings with Alexander Kristoff. It's not hard, but again you have to make sure you take every sprint, intermediate sprints, even on the mountain stages, or make sure you have to do a good lead out. Lampra, they have an excellent mountain team. Chris Horner, great mountain rider. Roger Costa, also great mountain rider. on this you have to make sure our coaster is actually protected all the times before the last climbs, especially those with the finish on the top, because else he don't have enough energy to go all the way. This one, when point standings and 4 stages of Greibel, that means the quick tour it doesn't actually give you 4 stages, it actually will give you 3 completely flat stages, so you have to add at least 2 or 3 more, and then of course beat Mark Cavendish on the flat stage. That's of course you have to do that, or else you cannot beat the Greibel. Movistar, that was kind of annoying, because I have actually, first time I played, I have put Quintana on the team together with Valverde and Igor Anton. That means I have actually lost focus on Igor Anton, so I have to play that objective again. But it's not that hard when I got it, because you should just make sure Igor Anton is going on a first attack on some mountain finishes when they hit the mountain, just attack, because then there's some riders following you, and on that way you're only like 20 riders left when they're actually going up, and then he can follow them and just go in his own pace, and just make the computer set the computer to actually go counter attack. That means Alexander Valverde, just make sure he's counter attacking him, and if you run almost out of energy, just put a yellow bottle on him and take control of him again, and after that you can just make Igor Anton go on a 70% relay. That means he was going normal he will go on a high speed, but not that high, so he exhausted himself. This one was one of the most challenging, not because it was hard, but because you actually have to make sure that Leopold Koenig is at least top 15 on each mountain stage, and he's not that good a climber, but again, it's how you do it and what you're doing to get it. Else you have to use Husarski as a mountain helper to protect Leo Koenig as long as you can, and win the all competitive standings was also quite easy. You just use a rider who's low in the all classification, then attack with him on every stage, and he going on a super competitive. On this one, easy, all easy. The only thing that could be a little problem is Rigoberto Urán, to get the 5th place for him. Else anything was easy. And the winner stage with Trombone, of course, one stage he actually can win easy. The 5th stage, couple section. Origa, that was also quite easy, because Gerrans should just attack on the healing stages. That means 2nd stage, stage 7 or stage 8 or something. Then he can win, or some mountain stage with a downhill, because he can actually just follow the favorite groups on uphill if you just go in your own pace, and then it would take like 2 or 3 minutes on the downhill. Sky, that was actually one of the first second I got, and then that time I have not completely understand the tactical system, not because I don't understand it, but I have to figure out the best way to get reach support on the 2nd place. Tinkoff, as I said before, easy. So now I'm going, as you see here before, the only thing objective I'm missing is I'm cycling with the French hero Sylvain Chavanel. As you know him, he's always going to break away, and he's never going to stop. He tries to attack every day almost if he could on the Tour de France, and he's very good on the hill stages. So win the Super Competitive standings and 2 stages with Sylvain Chavanel. That is my goal right now. But you will see that in a minute. And welcome back. This is the second part of the video where I have to show that I given the Platinum Trophy. And as you see, as I told you before, this is the Super Combatitive standings and 2 stages with Sylvain Chavanel. And I've of course saved the last stage just to show you. And you see here I'm leading the competitive standing with 200 kilometers, so it should be no problem. I just fast forward it. No need to write it. There's nothing I can do here. So let's just make a bet. Who's gonna win? I don't know. But I guess my bet is on Marcel Kittel or Cavendish. Cavendish have not been that good in this Tour de France. Kittel has been a lot better. Actually, Cavendish just won the first stage, but after that he did not win anything. So let's see. You see, Contador is leading this Tour de France. 16 seconds down to Nibali. Christopher Froome 2 minutes behind. Costa 2 minutes behind. That could be a real. That could be the real classification if Contador and Froome was here. But sadly enough, Nibali is two-way. He has no enemies. He cannot lose. He'll win the Tour de France except if he's gonna crash. So let's see what's popping up next time. It's gonna be exciting. Wow. You see that? Superstar and then champions of champions. That's my trophy. I just got the Platinum Trophy. So that's for now. And I'm soon gonna make a new video. Someone has asked if I could not do a video on this and this and this, but again, I haven't got time for that, and also I was about to complete the trophy section for this. This is actually my first Platinum Trophy on the PS4. Weird enough, because I have got a lot of trophy on the PS3, but I have not going for the trophies since I got the PS4. I didn't have time for it. So thank you for watching.